So we've talked about the spirit of misery and what it is, how it shows up. Now let's talk about the spirit of deception. The spirit of deception is a very manipulative but intelligent spirit that aims to distort the truth. It creates illusions and it hides the reality from others. Like it literally distorts a person's perception, their logic, as well as their intuition. Essentially, the spirit of deception is a lying spirit. However, just calling it a lying spirit is way too simple when you want to define what deception actually is. The spirit of deception literally embeds itself in a person's identity and can make a person believe that they are something or someone that they are not. The spirit of deception can show up in so many different ways. It can show up in not only a person's identity and who they believe themselves to be, but also you can see deception very big in religious groups. You have a lot of people who believe to be hearing the voice of God. They're being deceived by many, many spirits. They're believing themselves to be hearing the voice of God when in actuality they're listening to that spirit of deception, distorting reality, perception, and their beliefs. And it walks hand in hand with quite a few spirits. Number one, a lying spirit. Lying in the spirit of confusion, as it causes the host, again, to want to deceive other people and change narratives. So, with a person who deals with the spirit of deception, you find that their story tends to change up a lot. You tend to see this with people with like multiple personality disorder. Like they're like one person this day, then they're the next person that day, then the next person this day. Like you're being deceived. Who are you being deceived by? Where is this stemming from? You're also dealing with the spirit of performance because again, the host is wearing false identities. Essentially, the host doesn't really know who they are. They don't know exactly, again, they just don't know who they are. They've been deceived because most people who walk with the spirit of deception, they walk with it for a very, 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 very long time. A lot of people who deal with the spirit of deception, again, a lot of spirits are generational. The spirit could have come from their parents and have been passed down to them, making it even harder to find out exactly who they are. Spirit of deception really aims to convince people that they are something that they are not. Spirit of deception makes the host avoid accountability. It makes them avoid the truth. And again, this goes back to the spirit of misery. Most people who walk with the spirit of misery also walk with the spirit of deception. Why? Because the spirit of deception aims to distort and change the narrative to fit their need. And this can cause a person to become double-minded and very conflicting. But a lot of people who've been walking with the spirit of deception for a long, long time, they tend to know how to hold on to their lies, and they can change who they're, like a chameleon. They change who they are based off who they are around. Like their lives will be similar, but there will be like small changes that only a person with a keen and discerning ear will be able to notice. Like you said this last week, or last week you said this happened this way. They change the narrative to fit their need in that specific moment. Because again, people who walk with the spirit of misery, they try to overshare. They tend to overshare their pain because they feel empowered when they're speaking about their pain, even if that means changing the narrative. And this is when the spirit of deception walks in. The spirit of deception causes the person to live in false personas, and the spirit of deception can manipulate you through religion, through charm, through self. Now, when the spirit of deception materializes, it can materialize as like brain fog, memory loss. You might have a tight chest or a frog in your throat. You know how you get a frog in your throat? Because again, it affects your throat chakra. It affects your ability to speak the truth. Heart palpitations, because when a person is lying and they're not sure if the other person is going to catch them in a lie, they're probably getting some sort of anxiety. A person who deals with the spirit of deception can also deal with gut issues as well, and this stems from bitterness and rage. And oftentimes this bitterness and rage is stemming from the spirit of rejection, because again, a person who walks with the spirit of deception is obviously walking with the spirit of rejection as well, because the only reason why you're deceiving yourself and you've allowed the spirit of deception to come in and allow you to believe and live in these different personas is because somewhere you were rejected, somewhere you were not accepted for you, somewhere someone told you to shut up and sit down. Childhood trauma, religious abuse, generational curses, like really breaking down your lineage, your bloodline, your family trauma can assist you in understanding exactly what spirits are at the core of it so that you can go ahead and attack them head on.